neighbor Joe. Oh, morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong, you not been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you not been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. This is all the money that me work for. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. This is all the money that me work for. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. What we could do with a gilla piece? 1 bunch green plantain, 1 string quacquari, 1 Jill black pepper. All you could do with a gilla piece. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong, you not been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you not been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning.
She put a pot on she hair and gone. Them a the first one out on the dam. Basket on she head, bucket in each hand. Hold up on she frock, I wanna she grandson. To the market, them a go. For the morning, the day is dawning. For cockcrow to give the villagers a warning. Rise and shine, the birds them a sing. All animal take turn as them join in the waking. Cockcrow, dagabag, donkey, bray, horse, and they even duck a quack. Cockcrow, dagabag, donkey, bray, horse, and they even duck a quack. Come and hear this sweet story that tell the people about life in the country. All day a back down, me now I come home. Binaga, jackass yard for fetchy load. Cockle shy hand, bag over shoulder, running by his side, a Rexy and Rover. From the farm, them a come. Sun a go down but up the river. Some washing clothes, some folks are bathing at the water. Fisherman, they catch them a bring. From a canoe boat, man, them start offloading. Aymara, Kwakwari, Hail Baka Kuma Kuma, even Lokunani. Aymara, Kwakwari, Hail Baka Kuma Kuma, even Bangameri. Listen to this sweet story that tell the people about life in the country. Them children glad when the weekend come. Out in the yard, them all gather round. Some a play catcher, some making house from straw. Two who come later, a grandma or grandpa. All a sit down just a wait. Moonlight so bright, it's just the right time to listen story and to say a little nursery rhyme. Grandpa voice a echo in the night as he tell some picnic a there with fright. Oh, Ligan, Mungeza, Massa Kurma, Bura, Nancy, even Watamuma. Oh, Ligan, Mungeza, Massa Kurma, Bura, Nancy, even Watamuma. Yeah, man, that's the true story that tell the people about life in the country, life in the country.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I...
Good morning, guys, and welcome down to... Hello, good morning. Morning. Yeah, I was having some trouble with it. But I'm live right now, so let me talk after the program. Okay, sure, no problem. Mhm. Yeah, so morning again, people. I hope everybody had a wonderful night. Y'all seeing and hearing me clearly. I know our friend Nigel had a good night. He got a nice thick Exxon blanket covering him. You making joke when you're in bed with your companies? It's terrible. So we got some stuff to discuss this morning. My look, the double standards is real. Just give me a second to finish sharing the program. Right, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a restful night and they're ready and rearing to go this morning, as I am. Um, a lot of things for us to discuss. But before we do that, we got to do our regular housekeeping, right? So, guys, again, if you're in Region 6, you're looking for something good to eat, make sure you check out Grill Masters. Call the number on the screen. They also have catering services and that kind of thing. If you want them to cater to your event, wherever you are in the country, they can come to you, right? And they also have their lunch specials. Call, find out, or check their Facebook page to get some more information on what's on the menu for today, right? Also, don't forget, if you're coming back to Guyana, you're looking to build that modern home or that US or European style home, or you're just looking to build something that we're accustomed to here in Guyana, you're looking to do any kind of architectural drawing and that kind of stuff, check out Modern Architectures. They're the one for you. And also, if you need security, check out iSecure Security Services as well. You're secure with iSecure. That aside, morning to everybody in the chat already. Morning to you. This morning I'm going on semi-lawless. Semi-lawless. Rahim Amarali, morning to you. Richard Ward, morning to you, joining us from England. Joseph Satar, Ram Narayan Singh, morning to you. Prem Prashad, Sunil Raghubir, good morning to you. Faisal Dani, Omar Sharif. Roy Jaffer Ali, there's no actually scroll long. I see Roy Jaffer Ali here. Roy is the guy behind Grill Masters, and support. Rajendra Singh, morning to you. Sherry Ramdai joining us from France. Eunice Raghubir, special good morning to you and Rita. Thank you for messaging yesterday, Eunice, and Pam and all the other viewers who would have messaged to see if everything was okay. Having some technical difficulties, so we're here, we're back. Let me go. Vishnu Nurain, morning to you. Philip Diabru, Balwan Danraj, Gil Eon, Pam, morning to you, and Trevor. Philip Graves, Zandi, Lenny Lachman, morning to you. Henry Jagdio, good morning to you. Yumuna, morning to you. Yumuna joining us from the Kumaka Health Center. Jean Cornelius, Leslie Mongol, morning to you. Richard Stanislaus, good morning to you. Ronald Jones, big up yourself. The weekend is approaching. Monday is approaching fast. So I hope you've been putting in the work, the necessary work to have that proposal finished. Renny Prasad, morning to you. Nirmala Allen joining us from Barbados. Sherwin Siram, Duraj Nath, Vishnu Rampasad, good morning to you, sir, Vishnu, and the family there. I think they're on Kaglan Dam. I don't know if they live there still, but that's the last place I remember. Alan Khan, Dionan Suku, Roger Fong, morning to you. Mr. Ali, morning to you. Dorman Aziz, Joan Abidjan joining us from Canada, Shirley Narain, Alex Prasad, morning to you, brother. Sis Narain Samaru, Rajendra Etwaru, good morning to you. Chitra Sukraj, Maureen Razio, Rajendra Mahes, Camille Narain joining us from Minnesota, Gita Prasad, Eddie Ramnath, good morning to you, joining us from Paramaribo, Suriname. Data Nandalal, happy Friday to you. Yes, I missed you too yesterday, Pam. Gita Prasad, Jamila Kayum, Wazim Nabi, good morning to you. Bibi Kalichiran, good morning. Michael, Dale Henry, Cecil Rampasad, good morning to you. Gosh, Deshaun Abrams, morning to you. Gosh. Anyway, Deshaun, I talked to Deshaun already. Anthony Wang, morning to you. Balram Bhagwan Singh, morning to you. Vishnu Narain, trouble. Oh gosh, Richard Stanislas, look what Richard asking me. So please just let me show y'all. So apparently yesterday I lapsed. So I got two phones, right? I got a iPhone and a Android. The Android is what I usually use because I'm not too iPhone savvy. So apparently, well, if you guys remember, I changed the number from calling in to the Livewire number, not my personal number. And apparently Richard Rawl messaged me on the iPhone. Darn. This chroma key. This chroma key. Let me see. Let me see. Let me take it off for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So Rawl messaged me. God, my phone screen dirty. He messaged me sometime yesterday around 10:43 a.m. Then at 3:18 p.m. Right? I wasn't even paying attention to it because this phone is usually on vibrate. Right? Anyway, I didn't see him. He made a post online about me not acknowledging him. So this morning, I sent the link. Jeez, why the screen so dirty? Jesus, making me look bad. So this morning, I sent the link. That's the link there for him to sign in. Courdel, please confirm. I called, no answer. Hello, please confirm. Come on, man. Please wake up. You don't wake up yet? I call and I talk to a lady for 27 seconds. I don't know who she was. She confirmed it was Rawl's phone. And I said, man, we expecting him on the program. Tell him I sent the link. And we're expecting him here. So hopefully he signs in. I sent it on Messenger as well. Right? I sent it on Messenger as well. Catch yourself, camera. Rawl Blackman. Apparently he messaged here too. I didn't notice. I don't really respond to FB messages. I sent this morning. I sent the link again, hoping that he appears. Right? So Rawl, we waiting on you. Over to Rawl. We waiting on Rawl. Right? So I just wanted to clear my name and let me wait on the buy. Right? Likram Ram Kelawan, morning to you. And Hector, Raji Miraj, Rani Prashad, Lash PA, morning to you. Pushram Kishore, Salome, morning to you. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got in the comments this morning. Right, so we waiting on Rawl. I got all two the phones on loud, so I ain't gonna busy call. Let me wait. We waiting on Rawl. That aside, we got other things to deal with. Now, man, I show y'all this in the beginning. Right? I show y'all this in the beginning, and it is to illustrate how comfortable Nigel Hughes currently is in his current situation. right? Nigel Hughes is going all around these indigenous villages, quibbling over foolishness, right? Quibbling over foolishness. So we had a show yesterday, so I wasn't able to deal with the the Chinowing Health Center that he posted the medical. Did I deal with that? Was that yesterday or the day before? But my point is, I wanted to show y'all this because I posted this to my Facebook. This is a very health center that Nigel Hughes showed us in relation to this post here. This is the very same health center. And what I want to reiterate, as I said before, this photo here is to play with people's emotions, to get them riled up, to say, oh my God, how you could got this place like this. So Nigel Hughes doesn't go to the rest of the health center and shows you the dental facilities, the birthing area, and that kind of thing. They find the one thing wrong in an area and highlight it as, oh, this is the standard. Oh my God, look what's going on. Oh. Could he say to us why we didn't come and meet good facilities in there 2020 when the administration changed for the better? He can't say that to us. Now, this morning, it was brought to my attention because, like, I can't fully commit myself to looking at these people's Facebook because it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. Now, Nigel Hughes again goes to another indigenous community, this time Philippi, and he makes this post here. Well, he puts up some photos. So this is the Philippi Primary School, which was not built by the APNU AFC administration. You understand me? So they don't go into these indigenous communities and do any work when they have the opportunity. But as soon as they're out of power, they notice every single thing that's going wrong and needs to be fixed. Right? So he shows these outdoor toilets, or what we call latrines, pit toilet, outside the area. And he was floored. Nigel Hughes was floored. Now, mind you, again, Nigel Hughes is affiliated to the AFC. The AFC was in government. The AFC had the communications minister, it had the infrastructure minister, it had several ministers in the administration. So none of them ever visited Philippi to see what was going on there, to know that the persons were using pit toilets. And again, to show you how disingenuous Nigel Hughes is and why you cannot trust him in a leadership position, more so as leader of this country. Now, look at this here. This here is the sanitary block that is slated for construction at Philippi. This is not unknown to Nigel Hughes, but Nigel Hughes will continue to pretend like, oh my God, look at what's going on here. What is happening to the people? Oh, you understand? This drawing here for this sanitary block was done since April 2024. Since April of 2024. So this is not something unknown to Nigel Hughes or the AFC. But they will want to show you something like this because this is what they believe will have people so emotional. Oh my God, people using pit toilet and this and that. Let me educate Nigel Hughes like Laura George tried to educate me on things indigenous. The difference, well, not the difference. If Nigel goes to modern countries, much more advanced than Guyana, whether it's infrastructure, education, healthcare, whatever it is, much more advanced than Guyana, you find squat toilets currently in use. This day and age, 2024, as of yesterday. People in first world countries using squat toilets. So even us as third world countries, and we see that we like, what's going on here? But it's a cultural thing. Now, not saying that because this school is in an indigenous community that this is the standard. As I just showed you, the Ministry of Education, through the Regional Democratic Council, has put forward plans to upgrade the facilities there. Now, unlike the APNU AFC, the PVP administration understands that things are done incrementally. You can't do everything one time because you have to serve the entire nation. So whilst they would have upgraded the school, the sanitary block would have come in 2024. And 2024 is here and the sanitary block is coming. So this foolishness by Nigel Hughes, and that's all I could deem it as, foolishness by Nigel Hughes, going to these schools. So he's not going to look at the fact that these people have a modern school now. They got solar panels and stuff, so that the school got electricity 24 hours or whatever it is, or as they need it. He will go and find the one thing that need fixing and claim the whole place like this. This is all the trouble, everything going wrong here. You understand? So, Nigel, I'm saying to you, the Ministry of Education has it covered. Right? And as he took Laura George, look, more umbrellas, more umbrellas. This time is the pistolero sharing them out. More umbrellas to the indigenous people. That's the kind of development they bring in there. I see he had Laura George in the community there speaking to the people in the native tongue. That's good to see that Laura George is still connected to her roots and she can speak Akawayo. That is great. But a lie in English and a lie in Akawayo is the same thing. You're lying to the people because they can't expect any kind of development under the AFC. Could you imagine all these areas that Nigel Hughes going to? And look, is 3 different posts about this pit toilet. You understand me? 3 different posts about pit toilet. And whilst in office, under the Pagwali or under Dr. Rupnarain, what did they do to upgrade Philippi? What did they do in these indigenous communities that they're running in now? So you mean to tell me that Philippi only had a sanitary block from 2020? So all through 2015 to 2020, they had a sanitary block, and would the PVP come in and break it down and build pit toilets there? Nigel Hughes, is that what you're saying? Or is it a case where you guys didn't care enough about Philippi to put in a sanitary block? And again, they don't take into consideration the locations of these villages and the effort that it would take to get the materials to the location to do the construction. And some cases, that is why you have some delay with these projects in these far-flung areas. You can't just throw a truckload crusher run in a dump truck and just drive it into Philippi. It doesn't work like that. Same thing with Parima. And they act like if they don't know the geographical locations of these villages and the constraints in terms of getting things there or certain machinery into the village to get certain things done. So again, Nigel Hughes, you should be ashamed of yourself, sir. You very well know that this sanitary block is slated for construction. You very well know that. So please Stop being so disingenuous and lying with yourself. If you are happy and comfortable in bed with Exxon Nigel, fine. That's fine. You don't care about the Guyanese people. And again, could you imagine Nigel Hughes saying that he is floored? Look, let me show you, man. Let me show you. He is floored by this. Look, this just floored us. How he think the Guyanese people felt when they hear that you are going to take Exxon's side over Guyana. You think that floor Guyanese? When your wife sit down next to Kemraj Ramjatan and talk about Russians hacking the Guyana elections, don't you think that floored Guyanese, sir? When we found out about your wife and the money she stick to go on outreach. So like every time, if the AP and your AFC was in government and your wife went out to all those villages you went to, 2 million every time she go. 2 million every time she go. That would floor anybody. That would floor anybody. The fact that you are walking with this guy, this pissing guy, this would floor anybody. The fact that you are moving with this guy who has been the most corruption allegations has been leveled against. That has floored us, Nigel Hughes. That has floored us. The gentleman who's currently in front of the courts for unsolicited bid to the cabinet. The gentleman who bought skills that we never got. The gentleman who overpaid for the bucket trucks. The gentleman with the bangles bracelets. The gentleman with the Harbor Bridge money. All this corruption you walking around with. And then telling people about good governance and transparency and development and that nonsense. This is the only public infrastructure minister, or let me say public works minister, with the minimal amount of projects on this belt. They got David Patterson can't tell you 10 major projects that happened under his tenure as Minister of Public Works. Can't do it. You can't do it. But he can run into places like Philippi and Chinowing, where people might not know his story, and they go, "Oh, David Patterson, oh." But they got connectivity in there, so the people know about your worthlessness. They know about it. So again, I'm asking the general public, Guyanese, local and overseas, don't bother with these people. Well, this here, I'm finding out about this story here about this teacher girl and this 40,000 she paying to carry out a report. Listen, I'm going to find out about it. We're gonna deal with it Monday. I ain't gonna fright up now. I just wanted to show you that Nigel Hughes is a disingenuous liar banner. He know that this pit toilet is about to be replaced with a modern sanitary block. But being the disingenuous, misleading person that he is not going to let people know that he knows about this information and he knows that this development is happening. More so, his wife is in parliament, and I know they have pillow talk. They have pillow talk. And this sanitary block had to come up because this disposes of waste, and waste does discuss waste. So they must have discussed this sanitary block at some time, right? So Nigel, you see the sanitary block, you're informed of it again. Again, I'm asking you to stop going around in these indigenous communities making yourself a damn fool. A damn fool. You understand? And more so with people like Laura George. Now, if you remember, during the majority, the AP and UFC had a majority in parliament from 2011 to 2015. The AP and UAFC coalition systematically cut funding for developmental projects, including significant budget reductions for the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs. Now they're pretending like they're so interested in the indigenous people. Now, despite winning the 2015 elections, the APNU AFC did little to address the needs of Upper Mazaruni or other Amerindian communities. And that highlighted the lack of commitment to the indigenous people. I saw a photo the other day where Ali Kok, the former 5th to 6th vice president under the APNU, was in Chinowing, and the people were lobbying him for land titling and land boundary expansions and that kind of thing. Nothing was done. Now Laura George running around the place with these people like if they have so much care for the indigenous folks. Y'all are can't say what y'all are here. Not forgetting the termination of the CSOs. The coalition AP and UAFC, same group now who care so much about indigenous people, terminated 2,000 CSOs nationwide, many of whom were from Amerindian villages. And this is a clear demonstration of the disregard for the livelihoods of these communities. Now, after a hard-fought battle against the opposition attempting to steal the 2020 elections, the PPPC took over and immediately began working to improve the lives of all Guyanese, with a strong focus on marginalized communities, the indigenous communities, right? So understand that the government is currently building the sanitary block at Philippi. And this is a project that the previous administration never considered for this village. There's also going to be a new school and sanitary block at Cheese Pie. These the names. I don't want to mispronounce it. But in a Wyerling, I can't. No, this I can't pronounce the name, so I'm gonna skip that. But they got more sanitary blocks being built in these indigenous communities close to these, in the compounds of these schools, right? Now, the contrast in governance, the previous administration, the APNU AFC administration, their lack of action and investment in critical infrastructural projects for Amerindian communities is a sharp contrast to the proactive approach that this government is taking. The PPP administration remains steadfast in its mission to uplift every Guyanese, particularly those in underserved regions like Upper Mazaruni. And this is through targeted development projects and incentive policies, right? So I'm urging our indigenous brothers and sisters to remember who really has your development at heart, who really has been moving your, this banner reach here. Let me call you again. Let me call Ral again. Ral ain't reach here yet. This guy ice fast people. Right? So I wanted to highlight that for the indigenous persons who these people think that they could mislead. We calling Ral again. We calling Ral again. And then we go move on. Anybody saw the generous what? It's ringing alone. It didn't even going through now by like Ral Blackmiller McCarley straight. Overseas number. Anybody had a chance to look at the vice president's press conference yesterday? Very interesting as usual. We Carly straight. Let me see if you get it. Very interesting.
Please leave your message for 75.
Ral block me. Y'all here. Ral block me. What story is this? Man, man, it was this on me here now. Rod, how you gonna do me like this, bro? Yeah, Rod, the cars ain't going through no more. The cars ain't going through no more. I'm gonna screen grab the chat and post it because they can hear his I ain't answering and all kind of thing. Anyway, let's move on. So the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party had his press conference yesterday, and he touched on a wide range. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
How you
Long
doing?
time, right?
Yeah.
I know you was out, man. I know you was out.
Yeah. What's
anyway,
up?
my brother, we have you ever heard about Mali too? So much thing to see right now. There's so much thing to see right now, my brother, that you can't even start half. You can't even finish off because there's so much, my brother. Anyway, I just want to say a few things.
Go ahead.
Today is for Friday. I think this weekday.
Yeah, man.
Then, brother, let's start. I was listening to the Vice President yesterday on his press conference, and he mentioned about the teachers.
Right.
And you see how contradicted. It's how contradicted because the teachers, what they call it, the teachers executive, or what they call it,
The General Council.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for correcting me. The General Council agree with the increase that the government gave. But Corrector McDonald, she disagree about it. So she causing a problem.
Yep.
You understand? And this morning I was listening the big I don't know if I call it. I was listening, that's why one time I was listening news, but he never mentioned that.
Yeah, mostly.
Never mentioned that in his use. You know, he mentioned that the Corrector McDonald, disagree, and he never mentioned what the Vice President said.
Yeah.
Understand? He never mentioned it. You know? And though I watch it, though I award something, I remember a guy come on this program and told you that the one strike in September. I could remember that the guy told you that the one strike in September, they want a strike in September. So let's watch and see what will go on. And we're done with that one. Let's go now to Nigel Hughes. Nigel Hughes is only making himself a comic about the place. Why are they running in now to the indigenous community? Why? How come? Forget votes? No, they can't happen. They didn't care nothing about the people at all. No, they care. It just shows. It just shows how these people turn when they turn president or wherever they want it to be. It just shows how they will treat people.
Yeah.
You will carry up a leader, party leader, say that you want to be president, better must come, and you will carry up empty bags and give people an umbrella. Umbrella when the breeze blow too hard, they block up.
Yeah.
And I show them umbrella there.
The Savannah breeze. Oh, Lord.
You highlighting toilet in from 2015 to 2020. What are they using? Drone toilet. What is it using all the time? But this thing where people got this thing, rich isle country. If you don't know, you have heard what people say, if a fool and his money will be soon depart.
Yeah.
If you don't know to control that money, it will go out your hand. Also, how much you hear with millions and billions and trillions, it will go out your hand.
Yep.
If you don't know to control it, I can tell you something. I'm telling you something. The day win election, I pack my traps and gone.
Now you only one part now. A lot of people feel the same way.
I pack my traps and gone because I know everything will be for a year, and after then it's problem because they don't know to administrate. You see, I don't think what PPP doing, what the government doing, all will done. Even the bridge, if they win election, the bridge and finish, it will stay just like that.
But
They done with that.
you hear Aubrey Norton say he going to close down all them sugar estates and knock off them people again?
Yes, that's what he said. And then people like I say here. Then people like I say here. He said the money with the government spending on this and spending on that, it could go to wages and salary and spending and they talk about cost of living. And cost of living is high in them thing too. Cost of living high all over the world. Martin is a comic. Nigel Hughes also is a comic. I think the Nigerian use no law, they state law. I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
They state law. Right? Done with he. You understand? The next thing is I see some news is called Guyanese news at time, but I never know if you check it out. I don't know. I would never advise you for check, but they can't do shit. This brings up things that I don't know where no one lets into. What really happened with this why everybody call it with this FBI? I never heard this thing in Guyana. I hear no FBI. Travis Chase step on Travis Chase thing. FBI should investigate. What's all this from the FBI? FBI, listen to me. All of us now want to be American. If they're singing the anthem, they're singing the anthem like the Americans. Everything is America. FBI, CIA. What they got to do with the investigate the Guyana?
Yeah, but you realize they want to hear the Americans when they said that they rigged the 2020 election. Is the same American setup?
Good. You understand? When it was the 2020 election and we name coming the country and the Americans start to talk, they said this is a sovereign country and Americans said nobody must say nothing. Now they're saying the Americans must say something. No, these people is jackasses, my brother. I don't concern. They jackass. They can't run this country. If they get to go back in power, it's chaos. It's chaos, my brother.
Yeah.
Chaos. Now let's change down the door. Let's go now. Okay, that a situation with the water situation and so forth. You understand?
Yeah.
While living, I see the big, the dirty, well, it's a central Georgetown. And so there could be, not the outskirts in southern them places. Because the water is still there as per normal. So only that the pressure see like it low. But the water, the color of the water is still there as per normal.
Right.
In central color. It's not the whole Georgetown got the problem as far as I'm concerned. Yes, that good. Jacket, all right. Yes, that's some this color water is a fact, but not all over Guyana.
Yeah, but you see, that's my thing, Carlo. And sometimes persons are not genuine. Yes, there was a problem. Yes, GWI needs to do better to make sure that the water comes properly all the time. But the way that they were posting on Facebook is like every single house in the capital city experiencing this water issue. You understand?
No, not every house. Because in South you don't get in the color water. You understand?
Right.
You get in the color water. Now, as I tell you before, you would not get enough calling program, enough callers in the program because you're not talking bad about the government. If you be talking bad about the government, you think ears. You would have ears to listen to comments won't come in. I like God Mosley program, Jumpstart or Art Start. Just one program. Never talk nothing, never.
Yeah.
Never. never thought, why everybody stop listening? Because it never thought, okay, you must get criticized, you know, my critics or whatsoever. But then again, brother, is everything wrong.
Yeah.
Everything wrong, buddy. Oh, shit. Everything wrong. Among the things that wrong, that the people see wrong, I never hear the target when the AP and you went in power. And they have enough wrong thing because I used to mess around them. You understand? They have enough wrong thing. I never even go here, you know. Like, mostly never have not named jump start, half start.
Man.
No, they do have everybody, they listen to this road and thing. You know why I don't listen rename program no more? Friday program no more, especially on a Friday. Everything else up on the program too. Most time, man say out the road, and those are Indian man talking. Those are Indian. Most time, I'm not really discriminating, but I'm telling you what no.
Yeah.
Most time, Indian people is be talking from Friday program. Excuse me. Most time is be talking about Friday program, and they don't talk nothing but the time which we have this talk. I'm telling you this. Don't tell you this. You see the difference? I don't show the difference. But AP and supporters don't need to talk in some of the government, not at all. And the people is all, I'm a PPP, and but don't use a PPP and talking shit trash about PPP. As one critic said, people say, I am not discriminating, I am not racial, but just speaking pure racial tone.
Yeah.
I use that. But brother, I don't know. But forbid me, I tell you again, anytime they win election, I gone. I tell you, I gone because I know even black people going to suffer, especially all the more related to the PPP. They do me in the boots by. They do. Now look what they do with me by Jasper.
Yeah, in Linden there.
Look what they do with the Pastor London, Avery talking. Simona Booms. All of them, here they talking.
You see, all these people, they just get this social media support, you know. The London couldn't even get voted to be a councillor. All his support is on social media. Don't transit into no votes for them.
No. Smell. I sorry can't see she. But anyway, when I go up there and see she, I tell you I'm going to see she. When I go up there again, I can saw her. I'm not going to tell she peace in my mind. She look, let me tell you something. They pray to God that Donald Trump will win. I tell you. Pray to God that Donald Trump will win. Because then we see the talking shit and all right, they're going to get it right. She's looking for refugee status. It might succeed. Pray to God. I mean, nobody. I myself, I am not American. You know what I mean? A friend get around. He tell me about American politics and American this. You understand? And I tell you, buddy, I don't want to hear nothing but American. I don't want to hear nothing but American politics. That this girl, this woman going to win, and this and that, and yeah, I got to pray that this woman. I said, why I got to pray she win? I said, in Guyana, you didn't tell me the reason why I got to pray that the Democrats win, because Venezuela, if Trump win, Venezuela going to come and take over Guyana. You see, I said, let me tell you something. I said, my brother. I said, if they didn't add American CGS, I see how they call it in this country, I said, America not got time with Guyana.
Yeah.
I said, America protecting the Americans in this country. I said, if they didn't add CGX, America didn't have no time with the other. They ain't protecting the other. They protecting the wealth. You understand? They ain't protecting the other. Let CGX move out to Guyana and go back in Venezuela. See what's gonna happen. They have no time with Guyana. So all them are running but America and CIA and FBI. But every time you just turn to FBI. Where FBI got come in this country for? FBI can't even solve the one problem. They bring in one set of corrupt statements saying that this country set up for kill Donald Trump, which indeed they self set it up.
Man, look, these people is trouble.
But look, my brother, I think I had enough from the year with you because I want to go out and do some things. My mom, it says only Thursday.
So here we got a new number for calling, so we gonna start taking the calls during the week, right?
So what's it? Give me the new number now. The other day at the start, you said that on the screen.
Yes, 624-4782.
Just no, my brother. Just bear with me.
Sure.
Let me get this thing. Yes, my brother. Let me get it.
624 4782.
4782.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a cell number.
Yeah. That's the Livewire number. So anytime you call anything Livewire, call there.
Okay.
Right?
All
right, brother. Thank you for calling and thank you for keeping tuned in.
Things that I want to tell you, it slipped me off my head, man. As I said before, there's so much thing to see right now.
Well, you call anytime on the number once you see the program, man. You call that number there and you're going to get through.
Yes,
all right. Thank you for calling, brother. Have a good day.
Have a good weekend.
Good, you too. I like hear from the callers them. Right? I like hear from the callers them. So we have a perspective from the persons looking at the program. Mind you, I've been calling Raul all the time here. Darn this chroma key. Right, so you could see I've been calling Raul here and we just not getting through. He's not answering, not responding to the messages. Anyway, back to the General Secretary's press conference yesterday. And so the General Secretary was critical of some of the media and opposition's performance. Now, GS Jagdio criticized certain media outlets, particularly Kaitra News and Stabrook News, for misrepresenting the government and acting as a new opposition due to the lackluster performance of the actual opposition. Now, the GS emphasized the need for the People's Progressive Party to defend itself by providing accurate information to counter biased media reports. And we've seen that in places like Kaitra News and Stabrook News in the way that they cover matters, right? Certain articles, they make no mention of government's intervention plans, policies in relation to the very topic that they're discussing. Now, the GS went on to talk about the mining sector and environmental concerns, more so support for mining. Now, the government, the GS made clear, is unapologetic about encouraging mining due to its significant contribution to the GDP, employment, and income for Guyanese. Mining is essential for the economy, and the government has supported both large and small scale miners. Now, despite the growth of mining, Guyana has maintained one of the lowest deforestation rates in the world and the second highest forest cover. Under the APNU, mining taxes were increased, leading to a decline in the sector and loss of jobs. Dr. Jagdio accused the APNU of corruption and mismanagement of the mining sector. Now, when you contrast the APNU's tenure and their policies in terms of mining to the PPPs removed a lot of the burdensome taxes, lowered royalty rates, and invested in infrastructure to support the mining sector. The GS also touched on indigenous people and indigenous communities. Now, the PPP is the largest multiracial party in Guyana with the strongest support in Amerindian communities due to the party's long-standing commitment to improving the lives of indigenous people. And this is facts by record. The record shows this. Now, the PPP government granted Amerindian communities subsurface rights, a rare privilege worldwide, ensuring they have control over mining in their region. Now, Dr. Jagdeo criticized the government, the Guyana Human Rights Association, and other Georgetown-based NGOs for being anti-PPP and unaccountable, with no real representation of indigenous communities. This is like the APA, and as I just mentioned, the GHRA. Now we're actually seeing members of the APA in indigenous communities, and the APA has now morphed into a creature of the AFC. The GS went on to talk about carbon credits and environmental achievements. Now, the PPP government successfully negotiated 750 million deal for 30% of Guyana's forest carbons. This has directly benefited Amerindian communities who receive significant funds for development projects. The GS contrasts the PPP's achievement with the APNU's inability to generate or execute a similar strategy, accusing them of intellectual bankruptcy and neglect of Amerindian communities. And these allegations can be substantiated based on the way that they looked and dealt with these communities. I just told you of the former 56,000 Vice President Ali Khan visiting Chinook and Chinook lobbying for land titling and never got anything. Never got anything. Now, the GS went on to talk about the same two organizations I just mentioned, the AP and the GHRE, and accused these organizations of being aligned with the opposition, the APNU AFC. So like I said, the APA is a creature of the AFC and the GHRE is a creature of the PNC. Now, he criticized their attempts to block progress, such as the low carbon development strategy and carbon credits, which we know the APA has done unsuccessfully, right? Now, a claim was made that these organizations have not delivered tangible benefits to indigenous communities in contrast to the PPP's efforts. Now, what can we look at to see that the AP has lobbied nationally or internationally for the betterment of indigenous people? There's nothing that we can look at because they haven't done anything of significance ever. So Laura George running around to these indigenous communities, drinking all the people kasiri, you understand, and enjoying the freeness and the good treatment of the indigenous people of this country with the false promise of betterment. But again, I reiterate, better has already come to these communities, Laura George. So you coming there and you could speak in any language you want. The people aren't stupid. The people understand that 2015 to 2020, they did not see most of you who are running there now. Nigel Hughes, Laura George, David Patterson, they never saw you. So you coming there now and bringing the APA's creature, Laura George, to speak to these people in their native tongue to, probably to disarm them will not work. They already know how y'all stay. Right? So the GS went on to talk about the Stabrook News and the APA and their constant griping. Now, he criticized, the General Secretary criticized Stabrook News for constantly griping on behalf of the Amerindian People's Association without acknowledging the government's positive initiatives. The vice president highlighted that the government's initiatives, particularly related to environmental protection, will generate approximately 638 million US dollars over the next 8 years for infrastructure and adaptation projects without any taxpayers' money being used. Now, the GS mentioned that within just 2 years, over 1,200 projects will be implemented in 242 Amerindian communities using resources from environmental initiatives, excluding other developmental programs, excluding other development programs like presidential grants, prime ministerial grants, and things like that. Now, the GS defended the government's approach to Amerindian mining rights, stating that they have conferred mining rights to these communities, allowing them autonomy in decision making. Now, he went on to talk about the no, that's not right. He went on to talk about the opposition and credibility. Now, the GS accused the opposition of trying to control Amerindian people by spreading misinformation and influencing their decisions. Now, he claimed that this influence is diminishing as communities recognize the government's contributions. So, Nigel Hughes will go with some empty bags and umbrellas, but they remember the prime minister who bring a generator to the village, the solar farm that installed in the village, the internet connection that is there now, the learning channel and the programs that are available to their children there now. So despite what the opposition goes and peddles in these communities, these people have tangible things that they can look and touch and see and say, well, yes, this is government's efforts. And when they contrast it to a similar period, 4 years into government, AP and UFC, they didn't have anything like that. Right? They didn't have anything like that. Now, the GS emphasized the PVP's efforts in Amerindian communities have led to increased support, whereas the opposition, particularly the AP and UAFC, has lost credibility due to their past actions, such as halting the land titling activities and firing the CSOs. Now, the GS came over to the GTU and the teachers' pay dispute. Now, Dr. Jarjo criticized Coretta MacDonald, the illegal general secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, for allegedly undermining the union's decision to accept the government's revised pay offer to teachers. Now, he stated that the GTU's general counsel had agreed to the proposal, but Coretta, influenced by political motives, tried to derail the agreement. Now, the General Secretary pointed out that MacDonald should not be holding her current position in the union while being a member of parliament, as it violates the union rules. Something that every time Gordon Mosley interviews Coretta MacDonald, I wish he would ask her about that. How is it that she is not aware of this rule, or is it that she's aware and she doesn't care? What about the auditing of this union? Can you produce any documents to show that there was any auditing? As the Auditor General's office says, no, you haven't done so in some time. But these kinds of questions elude people like Gordon Mosley to ask. And Coretta not going to give me an interview. I got tackle she on the road when I see she. And even then, she going to keep walking and me want nobody said that I harassing them. I call the police on me. But I got to ask her the next time I see her. Now, the GS went on to talk about the government's commitment to teachers. The government has, he started with the financial commitment. Now, the government has committed to spending nearly 40 billion on wages and salaries for teachers annually. Now, the revised pay offers would result in a 10% increase, amounting to approximately 12 billion more over the next 3 years. Now, he spoke about the non-salary benefits as well. In addition to the financial incentives, the government has introduced various non-financial benefits such as higher allowance for hinterland teachers, incentives for qualified teachers, and opportunities for further education under the Gold Program. The GS also touched on the inflation and cost of living. Now, the Dr. Jagdu dismissed the opposition's claim that the government has failed to address the cost of living crisis, explaining that inflation and cost of living are interconnected. He emphasized that the government has taken significant measures to manage inflation and to reduce costs in key areas such as utilities, transport, and food. Right? Now, the General Secretary went on to talk a little bit about the past PNC governments and give some historical contents. Now, Jagdeo contrasts the current government's achievements with the oppressive measures of the past PNC government, such as the banning of newsprint, restricting food items, and using the army to manipulate elections. He highlighted that the PPP has always supported free media and independent institutions. He went on to talk about the army's presence and the election's integrity. Now, he again emphasized the absence of the army, he emphasized the absence of the army in the election since 1992, contrasting it with past practices under the APNU, where the army was allegedly involved in elections-related violence and ballot box tampering. The GS also mentioned the assassination of Walter Rodney as an example of PNC's violent history. The GS stated that the PPP does not undermine institutions, but defends its positions robustly. He criticized the opposition for attacking the judiciary when decisions don't favor them, noting that their actions include personal attacks on judges rather than reasoned critique. And that's the thing with them, they can't differentiate between the two. Now, Dr. Jagdi accused the opposition, particularly the APNU AFC, of spreading lies and using fear tactics, such as false information about Russian interference in the elections, and things of that nature to mislead the public. He highlighted the opposition use of homonym attacks, specifically mentioning Vincent Alexander's criticism of the Chief Justice, which he described as the worst kind of personal attack seen in recent times. He went on to talk about the stance on free media in Guyana. Now, the GS defended his record on press freedom, refuting claims that his government had threatened journalists. He recalled a past controversy where ads were shifted from Stabrook News to Kaito News, explaining that the decision was based on circulation figures and was not intended to undermine press freedom. He argued that the opposition and hostile media outlets distort information to present the government negatively, while the PPP has continuously supported press freedom and transparency. The GS discussed how the PPP has adopted a liberal attitude towards violent rhetoric on social media, contrasting it to the more severe response in countries like the UK. And he mentioned specific threats against himself that were made, not acted upon by law enforcement, illustrating the government's tolerance to free speech, even when it's critical or extreme. Right? Now, these are some of the topics that the General Secretary would have touched on, and I must reiterate, oftentimes I understand his frustration. Because some of the things that are allowed to fly here in Guyana, it's not. It wouldn't be allowed to fly in other countries. You think Rickford Burke and those people could speak that way of American politicians without repercussions? Now, he touched on some other topics as well. Now, the GS had some external criticism in terms of interference. Now, the GS criticized external entities, particularly the UK and the US, for lecturing Guyana on issues like sustainability and governance, while their own countries have significant shortcomings. He pointed out the hypocrisy of these criticisms given their own environmental records and governance challenges. Now, he called for more patriotic responses from Guyanese, urging them to question external criticism and defend the nation's progress rather than relying on foreign bodies to fight their battles. In relation to Exxon and economic policy, Dr. Jackie Joe clarified misconceptions about ExxonMobil's investment returns, explaining that while there is no interest cost on cost recovery, ExxonMobil still earns a significant return on equity. He criticized the opposition's figures for misrepresenting the government's dealings with Exxon. The GS also accused the AFC leaders of hypocrisy, highlighting that while publicly criticizing Exxon, their party's leadership is financially tied to the company through lucrative contracts, right? AKA wrap up tight in bed. So, guys, that's all. That was some of the highlights from the General Secretary's press conference yesterday. I hope that if you didn't have a chance, this information was informative to you, or you can go and look at that press conference, which is still on social media, and you can have a first-hand update. Right? I am out of here until Monday. Y'all be good Guyanese. If you're getting into bed with the right things and the right people. You understand me? I realize you ain't got corruption like on next day there, but you still look comfortable. Y'all be good Guyanese. I am heading out of here, right? Please be safe this weekend if you're partying. Ensure that you have a designated driver. Please slow down on the roadways. I'll see you guys here Monday, same time, same place. And continue to be great Guyanese. As I usually say before I go, it's all about peace, it's all about love, it's all about one Guyana.
My country, my home, the only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home, the only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home, the only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my